Players need to kill the sentries, avoid the lasers, and not smack into walls when flying the stupid insect. And guess what? If you smack into the walls, then Chakan will fall. Possibly even to the beginning of the stage. The boss fight that I hated the most was against the elemental water boss. It can last anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes just to defeat him. Talk about a long, boring, tedious fight. For some dumb reason, the developers thought, this game isn't hard enough, so let's add a time limit too! Genius! What, are you kidding me? Once time is up, players have to reconquer every world you didn't complete. Also, if you're running out of time, then you have to make the quick decision to use the reset magic, and waste your ability to heal and use practical powers later on. But the biggest insult to injury is when you manage to beat the game. The best ending wasn't completed because the developers didn't count on people being able to beat this game! So they released it without the best ending! Holy crap, that is evil! I mean, talk about smacking around one's ego. You go through all this torment just to find out that the lazy developers didn't put in the real ending because they didn't think you could beat it. Wow! So get this, folks, you get a stupid hourglass that's just on the screen for 6 minutes. No text, no awesome visuals, nothing. This is by far one of the sickest jokes to play on a gamer ever. That is awesome. And I've never heard anything like that in all my years in gaming. That is brutal. Okay, so I must be a glutton for punishment, because the game, even after punishing me beyond my limits, has some redeeming qualities, I know. First and foremost, the gameplay is very impressive. Any mistake you make is your own fault. Also, being able to attack in 8 directions was great. One of the coolest moves in this game is the spinning jump extending your swords. This move comes in handy in just about any enemy in the game, and it's a must to master. However, what steals the show for this game is the magic. What a great addition, and without this game would be impossible to beat. Now, I'm only going to talk about my favorite powers, rather than going to talk about all 12. The super jump, or height as it's called in the manual, height uses 1 light blue potion and 1 clear potion. With it, Chakan can jump super high. But here's the best part, folks. It lasts for the entire level. There is no time limit. How epic is that? You can cast height at the beginning of the level and have it till the end of the level. This makes playing the game so much more fun. Combining height and the grappling hook makes it super easy and a breeze to pass the climbing levels. The next power-up on my list is the Enchanted Swords, using either fire, earth, air, or ice. It doesn't really matter. This makes Chakan's swords almost as powerful as the axe or hammer's one-hit kills. But even better, adds long-range magical attacks to Chakan's arsenal. The Enchanted Swords also look really cool to boot. My favorite of the enchanted blades are the lightning and ice ones. Since this game has no extra lives, thank God there's a healing spell. How fitting that the symbol is a cross too. Anyway, no matter if you have 1 hit or 3 left, once you heal, you're at full health no matter the circumstances, which is awesome. After this, I really started to relax and actually enjoy playing this game a lot more. Another great power-up was the Invisibility, but the bonus aspect of this power was the fact you could become invincible at the same time. This power does have a time limit though. I think it's 30 or 60 seconds, I'm not sure though. I used this power-up on the more difficult boss fights and managed to kill the bosses before even the time limit was up. So again, I have no idea how long it lasts, I just really like it. Since I'm a huge fan of the comic book from years past, I feel that this game pays homage to its source material very nicely. However, this is not for everyone. This game was created for the die-hard comic fans, and the developers created a game that very few people could beat on purpose. That amongst itself is pretty bold. The one major downside for this game, though, is the potion limit. Since most spells use 2 potions each, Chakan can only use 1 or 2 spells per level. and for the last worlds, using 2 spells isn't enough. So basically, without cheating, this game is literally impossible to finish. Chakan the Forever Man has been a game shrouded in mystery and loathed by many to this day, yet it still managed to have a loyal cult following, which is very bizarre. If I hadn't stumbled upon the debug menu for this game, I may very well have annihilated this game for this episode, which I don't do very often, but I was really looking forward to. But there's a game on my list that I will this year. But because of the debug menu, I have a whole new outlook on this game and a much fonder respect. I can't recall if I knew of this cheat when I was a little kid, but I'm glad it exists now. For without playing on an emulator, next to nobody, even with save states, could beat this game. It's true, look it up. So, that being said, it has solid gameplay, great eerie music and sound, morbid graphics, awesome power-ups, and boasts to this day as one of the hardest video games ever created. So Kwing Reviews gives Chakan the Forever Man for the Sega Genesis a 6 out of 10. And I know some of you are like, whoa, that score seems lower, but guess what? I was going to give this game a much lower score, like a 4. But again, the debug menu is what saved this game from my initial wrath. So there you have it. I still can't believe I'm the first person to make a video review of this game in almost 18 years. I want to thank Robert for making this awesome comic book character, and you guys should order his comic books from his website. They're really cool. Well, that does it for another episode. K-Wife has her voice back, and Demon Blade is officially the next episode, entitled Episode 109, The Return of K-Wife. Catchy title. Don't forget to check out my video reviews for Got Game, Game Nights, and VLP Gaming. Thanks so much for watching another Kwing Reviews episode. Please subscribe, and until the next time, this is Kwing saying God bless and happy gaming. Until we meet again, gamers. See ya!